The Sierra Club endorsed you because of specific policies to prepare for global warming you would implement. That's in quotes. Given that, why should Chatham voters trust that a candidate whose priorities include a carbon neutral footprint would support the attraction of an auto manufacturing plant in Siler City that would bring thousands of jobs?
Carbon neutral means that you're not adding more carbon. The best thing, and you can expect this in a 21st century manufacturing plant, is that they will do their very best to handle their waste streams. They will do their very best to handle their manufacturing processes, to do it as efficiently as possible, and to use the right kind of power. Now there are, as we move down this road, and with climate change, because it's happening. It's happening all around us, and we're in the middle of it, and will be for a long, long time. And that climate change will also impact our rivers and streams. That climate change will impact how much water we have available, and our eventual rainfall and our groundwater resources. All those things are part of the equation. And in terms of the Sierra Club's endorsement and global warming, that was something that I have been engaged in, and there are discussions right now going on up in New York City this week, all through a national audience, because we have to simply do what we can to address it now. And as to the mega site, let's see what is attracted and who is attracted.
Well, glad to hear you say that modern manufacturing has a way of addressing those issues. We feel very strongly the same way. In fact, that's the reason we put such emphasis on developing this mega site, which you, by the way, disagreed with funding. We felt it was important to fund it and support the town of Siler City to get the mega site going. So we funded the infrastructure studies and things that was necessary, which, by the way, as I said, Diane opposed. We recognize the fact that an automotive manufacturing facility will bring thousands of jobs. Thousands. We recognize the fact that an automotive manufacturing facility will invest billions in capital investment in structure within the county. We realize that will bring enormous tax dollars, which will fund the things that we need to do as a county. It will help us fund our schools better. It will help us build the infrastructure. It will help us put the things in place to fund environmental protection. It will also put $1 million a day payroll in the pockets of Chatham County citizens. $1 million a day, just with what they employ. That pays a lot of sales tax. 64 cents out of every dollar that the citizens in Chatham County spend today is spent outside of Chatham County because they have no place to shop, no place to work. That's something this board has worked on aggressively, is getting businesses here in town, in the county, and getting people to be able to work at home. Allow children to be able to grow up and stay at home and work and be with their families instead of having to go away. And these businesses will fund the things that we want to do, the fund things that we need to do as a county.
I'd like to say one thing.
Well, we have a few more seconds, I think, 30 more seconds.
There are a few other things too that most people don't think about when you think about big industry and working for a large company is the corporate social responsibility and what they put back into the communities. There's a lot of dollars that come from these industries that goes back in the form of the arts and funding for children and food and charities, United Way, all of this. This is all something that I think we could all agree on that would be a big win for Chatham County. So there's a lot of things that we'll get besides just the jobs.
Okay, good.
I feel like I've been slightly misrepresented here. I do support the mega site. Part of one of the items Commissioner Sally Coast had asked for was that when the $1 million that was a product of the selling of the land in Carolina Park, outside of Siler City, the business park, selling land to a private individual that produced the $1 million revenue, that then was turned over to the EDC for the development of the mega site. Commissioner Coast at that time wanted that turnover, I guess, of money to be considered a loan that would be repaid when a mega site came into Siler City, so that it would be a seed for other development down the road. I don't believe any of that happened.
Sally, actually, yeah, let me address that real quick. What you said about being a seed is probably correct, but these things don't happen by accident. There's a lot of steps that have to go into place to get this certification. We got that certification 18 months probably ahead of when anybody expected us to do it. Siler City came to us and said, we've got to fund these studies, the environmental studies, the transportation studies, and that's going to cost us a little over $1 million, and we don't have it. County, can you help us? So we said, you know, we've got some unbuildable land that somebody wants to build on, a conservationist who wants to set that aside to be conservation land, and I'm going to pay you $1.2 million for it, $1.12. And we said, let's take that money, that's supposed to be EDC money anyway, and let's put that into these studies that Siler City says they want. And Diana, you came to several meetings and vehemently opposed selling that land. This money doesn't drop out of the air. We have to get it somewhere. So we were able to take unbuildable land, money that nobody else was going to pay us for that, and we were able to put that into something Siler City was begging us for. So I think that was a win-win for everybody.
And there is a program actually, and you go out and you look at the information from past meetings in the EDC. There's a team that's put together and a committee that looks at that, and they take that seed money that you talk about, and they go in and they do research to make sure that, you know, that the land is properly addressed and the infrastructure is properly addressed and this type of thing. So there is actually one I read it today, as a matter of fact.
And let's just be very clear, obviously I'd like to talk about it. The mega site, it's a wonderful potential. It is not a done deal. It could be 3 years, it can be 8 years, it could be 18 years before there is something on that piece of land. So it's, you know, we need to just be very aware of what we are talking about when we talk about this mega site. It's not imminent. This is not something that's about to hit Chatham County. We're going to have billions of dollars and we're going to, you know, be funding the arts and funding programming for our kids. This is something that is really a wonderful hope, but it's
In fact, it is a certified site. It's the only certified site in North Carolina. And it's the only site that a automobile plant would move to because it is the only one in North Carolina. It happens to be in Chatham County. Secretary Decker was in Japan this week talking to automotive plants, trying to recruit them here. And she was told that the missing piece has always been local government support. We've got that now. She knows that. The Japanese know that. The Europeans know that. And we can kick the can down the road, Jim, as you were implying earlier, and act like this is a potential. But if you're going to grab that potential and take advantage of it and make this county something, you've got to act now and lay the groundwork, or it will always just be something out on the horizon.
I'm going to move on there. I didn't want to interfere with any applause.